John van de Velde stood in a freezing river barefoot as his championship dream sank before his eyes. This is no ordinary golf blooper reel. This is pure heartbreak on the course. These are 5 golf disasters so jaw-dropping, you'll rethink calling your own bad shots embarrassing. From pros landing in bunkers they can't escape to rules that snatch away a trophy at the last second. These moments shook the golf world. Tune in, because what happens next will make you gasp and wonder, how could it possibly get worse? Number 5, John van de Velde's splashy finish in 1999 Open Championship.
I was coming from the right-hand side on the fairway that was perpendicular to me with the wind into and the fairway was pretty tight. I mean, it hit the stand, it goes into the burn, it hits the steps going down in the burn and comes back another 40 yards. So it buries itself into.
So you're playing one of the biggest golf tournaments ever, the Open Championship. You're on the last hole at a super famous golf course in Scotland called Carnoustie. Best of all, you're already ahead by 3 shots. That means even if you totally mess up, you still can win the big shiny trophy called the Claret Jug. Sounds easy, right? Well, not if your name is John van de Velde. Jean from France decided to go big or go home. Instead of playing it safe, he grabbed his driver, the golf club that hit the ball far, but is about as wild as a raccoon on a sugar rush. His first shot, wham! Way off to the right onto a different hole. Oopsie. But Jean wasn't done yet. For his next shot, he tried to hit the ball all the way to the green, but it bounced off the grandstand, where the crowd was watching, smacked some rocks, and landed in tall grass next to a little river called the Berry Burn. Things were officially getting wacky. Now for his third shot, splash. Yep, the ball went right into the river. The crowd gasped, but Jean, he rolled up his pants, took off his shoes and socks, and marched into the water like a fisherman on a mission. Imagine a pro golfer standing in a river trying to smack a golf ball out of the water. He looked more like he was hunting for treasure. Finally, Jean gave up on the river plan and took a penalty drop. His 5th shot landed in a sand bunker, basically a giant sandpit for golf balls. His 6th shot got on the green, and his 7th shot finally went into the hole. Now, that's called a triple bogey. 3 shots over par, or as we call it, whoops. Because of that, Jean didn't win right away. He had to play extra holes in a playoff against Paul Lawrie and Justin Leonard. Paul Lawrie ended up winning. Today, people still remember Jean's wild day at Carnoustie as one of the craziest golf meltdowns ever. And guess what people nicknamed the course? Carnoustie. Yep, it totally lived up to its name. Who knew a patch of sand could rewrite the ending of a championship? Number 4, Dustin Johnson's Sandy Surprise 2010 PGA Championship.
With that substance beneath his ball and holding a 1-shot lead at the 72nd hole, Dustin Johnson played, then paid a huge...
We jumped to the 2010 PGA Championship at Whistling Straits in Wisconsin, USA. An American golfer known for hitting the ball so far, it's like he's got rocket boosters in his clubs. Dustin was having an awesome round and thought he just made par. That's golf speak for not bad, not great on the final hole, the 18th. Everyone was getting pumped for a playoff. More golf, more fun. But then, plot twist. As Dustin was leaving the green, a rules official came running up to him with the news that probably felt like getting hit by a flying golf ball. On Dustin's second shot at the 18th hole, his ball landed in a sandy patch. Now, Whistling Straits is covered with thousands of bunkers, like so many that you can't tell if you're in a bunker or on the beach. And this sandy patch looked like a random dirt spot that people had been stomping all over, with trash and footprints everywhere. Before Dustin hit his shot, he rested his club behind the ball on the sand. That's called grounding the club. Usually a no biggie, but this tournament had a super picky rule. Every sandy area was considered a bunker, even the messy ones full of popcorns and shoe prints. And in a bunker, grounding your club is a big no-no. Dustin had no clue it was a bunker. Honestly, it looked more like a sandbox after recess. His caddy didn't notice either. So when the official told him that he was getting a 2-stroke penalty, Dustin's jaw probably hit the ground. Instead of going to the playoff, he was out, just like that. Martin Kamer and Bubba Watson went off to the playoff, and Martin ended up winning. Fans were scratching their heads, wondering why nobody had warned Dustin before the shot. It was a heartbreaker for sure, all because of a weird rule that turned an ordinary sandy patch into a golfing disaster. Moral of the story, sometimes in golf, the sand isn't just sand. It's a sneaky trap waiting to wreck your day. Now, nothing says victory party like a surprise tackle on live TV. Number 3, Adam Hadwin gets tackled. 2023 RBC Canadian Open.
Hadwin is a PGA professional golfer. He was playing in the tournament, and so he was on the sidelines with a lot of other Canadians like Mike Weir, and he was just wearing a green sweatshirt and a black hat, watching like everyone else in the...
It all went down at the 2023 RBC Canadian Open at the Oakdale Golf and Country Club in Toronto, Canada. Canadian golfer Nick Taylor had just made history. He sank a monster 70-foot putt. Seriously, that's like putting across your living room, kitchen, and hallway combined, to win the tournament in a playoff. The crowd exploded with cheers because no Canadian had won their own national golf championship in nearly 70 years. People were losing their minds in the best way. But here is where it gets funny. Another Canadian golfer, Adam Hadwin, who also was one of Nick's good friends, was so pumped that he grabbed a bottle of champagne and sprinted out onto the 18th green to celebrate. He was ready to spray Nick like they'd just won the Super Bowl, but a security guard saw Adam running full speed towards the players and thought, oh, crazy fan alert. So just as Adam zoomed towards Nick, wham! The security guard tackled him like a linebacker in a football game. Adam hit the ground, champagne bottle and all, while everyone on live TV watched in shock. People were like, wait, what just happened? Adam luckily was fine and probably very sticky from the champagne. And once everyone realized it was just an exciting golf buddy and not a wild fan, they all started laughing. Adam even joked later on social media that maybe he should have announced himself before charging onto the green. His wife joked too, saying Adam apologized to the guard, which is basically the most Canadian thing ever. Even though this didn't change the tournament or cause any penalties, it became one of the most hilarious and unforgettable moments on the PGA Tour. Next up, the tiniest grains of sand can crush the biggest dreams. Number 2, Thomas Bourne's Bunker Blues 2003 Open Championship.
Even better, he was about to become the first Danish player to win a major championship. The claret jug was practically engraved with his name. Then came the par 3 16th hole and that bunker. A seemingly routine greenside sand shot turned...
We return to the Open Championship at this moment, which happened in 2003 at Royal St. George's Golf Club in England. Thomas Bourne, a golfer from Denmark, was playing fantastic golf and had a 2-shot lead with just 3 holes left to play. The famous claret jug trophy was almost his, and he just needed to stay calm and play smart. When Thomas reached the 16th hole, a tricky par 3, things took a bad turn. His tee shot wasn't terrible, but it drifted slightly towards the right and rolled into a bunker next to the green. Now, bunkers are tough, but professional golfers practice these shots all the time, so Thomas probably thought, no problem, I'll get it onto the green and move on. But this particular bunker seemed to have other plans. On his first try, Thomas didn't hit the ball hard enough, and it smacked into the steep bunker wall and rolled back right to his feet. The crowd groaned in disappointment. He then tried again, but the same thing happened. The ball would just not come out of the sand, no matter what he did. You can imagine how frustrating he must have been. He was so close to winning, yet he was stuck in a bunker. It took him 3 tries to finally get the ball out. By then, the damage was already done. He made a double bogey on the hole, which erased his 2-shot lead. Suddenly, instead of leading the tournament, he was behind. Thomas lost his championship by just 1 shot to Ben Curtis, an American golfer who was a complete surprise winner. If Thomas had only gotten out of the bunker on the first or even the second attempt, he probably would have taken home the claret jug. This was one of those painful moments where the golf course itself seemed to fight back, turning a nearly perfect day into a heartbreaking finish. Now, even legends can watch their lead slip away, 1 painful shot at a time. Number 1, Jordan Spieth's aim and corner nightmare, 2016 Masters.
Right into Race Creek.
He's getting up.
He swings again.
Oh my goodness.
His 3rd shot at redemption.
Unbelievable. I'm losing count, Frank.
And when it was over, a quadruple bogey.
It was a Sunday at the 2016 Masters, the biggest golf tournament in the world, held at the famous Augusta National Golf Club in Georgia. Jordan Spieth, a young superstar who won the year before, was on fire again. He had a huge 5-shot lead after 9 holes, and it looked like he was going to win another green jacket. People were already celebrating. What could go wrong? Then came Amen Corner, a famous stretch for 3 holes, the 11th, 12th, and the 13th, known for drama. Spieth made bogeys 1 over par on holes 10 and 11 and walked in a 12th hole called Golden Bell. It's a short par 3, but it's very tricky with a creek in front and swirling winds. Spieth hit his tee shot, splash, right into Race Creek. The crowd grasped, but he could still recover. After a penalty drop, he tried again from about 70 yards. But disaster struck. He chunked the shot and it landed in the creek again. 2 balls in the water on 1 hole. His caddy, Michael Greller, watched in shock. Spieth's 5th shot went into a bunker and he finally made a quadruple bogey, 7. Just like that, his lead was gone. Danny Willett, playing ahead, took the lead and won. Spieth had to just hand Willett the green jacket. Heartbroken. It wasn't a silly rules mistake. It was a tough, unforgettable collapse under pressure that people still talk about today. What's the craziest golf fail you've ever seen or heard about? Like, comment your take, and don't forget to subscribe for a hole in one.